The diner smelled of fresh pancakes and warm coffee when Mia, a young waitress with tired eyes and a heart that refused to stop caring, rushed from table to table with the grace of someone who had long learned to survive more storms than she could count. But everything in her world slowed when she noticed a small girl in a wheelchair sitting alone in the corner booth, staring helplessly at her untouched plate, because the girl's trembling fingers were trying, and failing, to lift a fork, and Mia's heart cracked open at the sight as she immediately walked over, knelt down, and softly asked if she needed help, and the little girl, with shy blue eyes, whispered that her hands weren't listening today. So Mia smiled warmly, slid into the booth beside her, and began feeding her gently, piece by piece, with the tenderness of someone who understood what it meant to feel defeated, unaware that a tall, sharply dressed man had frozen near the entrance, unable to breathe as he watched the scene unfold, because the girl wasn't just any child, she was Lily, his daughter, the only family he had left after his wife's sudden death, and he, Ethan Blake, a millionaire CEO known for his fierce negotiation skills and ice-cold business aura, suddenly felt helpless, ashamed, and in awe all at once, because he had never seen Lily smile the way she was smiling at this stranger. As Mia fed Lily, the girl's giggles filled the diner like sunshine, and Ethan felt a sting in his chest, a painful reminder that he had been so consumed by work, meetings, and responsibilities that he had forgotten how to make his own daughter laugh. But this waitress, this unknown woman with syrup stains on her apron and kindness bursting from her voice, was doing in 2 minutes what he hadn't managed in months. So he swallowed hard and finally approached the table, but stopped again when Lily said, "Daddy, look. She helps me better than my therapist," and the words cut him deeply, forcing him to face the truth he had avoided for too long. Money couldn't fix everything, and sometimes the smallest acts of kindness were worth more than the biggest bank accounts. When he finally spoke, his voice trembled as he thanked Mia, who smiled and said she was just doing what anyone would do. Though deep down Ethan knew not everyone would pause their busy shift to show gentleness to a struggling child, he introduced himself casually, not revealing his wealth, and Mia introduced herself with the humility of someone who never expected anything from anyone. And for a moment Ethan just watched her patience, her calmness, the way she treated Lily not like a burden but like a miracle, and his heart whispered something he hadn't felt in years, hope, fragile but real, that maybe there were still people in the world who could bring light into their lives. Lily asked Mia to sit with them, and when Mia hesitated, Ethan offered to pay for her break, not realizing that she wasn't motivated by money but by compassion, because she stayed only to make sure Lily finished her food without frustration. As they talked, Ethan learned Mia worked 2 jobs to support her aging grandmother, lived paycheck to paycheck, and still showed up every day with a smile, and something about her story tugged at him deeply, because he had spent years chasing success only to feel empty, while here was a woman with almost nothing, who still found ways to give everything. Lily clung to Mia, asking her to visit again, and Ethan watched with a mix of gratitude and longing, realizing that this unexpected encounter might be the turning point he desperately needed, not just as a father but as a man who had forgotten how to feel.